All right. My comments, I think, are probably a little skewed towards larger theaters, but, so everything has to be taken within context. But I have 4 principles that I want to share with you this morning about race and gender, about basically embracing pluralism. Embracing pluralism begins with the mission statement. Every theater artist and every theater organization must have a mission statement, which is your guiding beacon. My personal mission, offered solely as an example, is to help transform the American stage into a site of greater inclusion, authentic representation, as well as increased social relevance. Not every individual or theater organization is required to embrace cultural pluralism as their mission. Culturally specific theaters have significant roles to play in our field. If a theater is dedicated to promoting, for example, the canon of Anglo male playwrights, wonderful. However, if your mission statement says that you serve a diverse community, then your board, your staff, including your artistic staff, and your programming must reflect this diversity. When it does, your audience will too. So I'm urging everyone to revisit their mission statement, and if you don't have one, make it a top priority to create one. Principle 2, we must acknowledge the prevalence of social toxins in our field. Sexism, racism, classism, homophobia, etc. are all social toxins that are born of ignorance. Because we live in a socially toxic society, to varying degrees, we are all contaminated. And if you believe that you are exempt, then you just have not been in the right situation to bring it out. Because of the way these terms have become stigmatized, the tendency is to want to believe that racists and sexists, homophobes, etc. are bad people and that they look evil. That way, they are never us, they are never our colleagues, they are never our friends. So this is the kind of denial that allows the problem to persist. And the problem is very real. If you don't believe me, then check out the statistics on the number of female playwrights that are being produced in the American theater. So, because we cannot begin the healing process until we stop denying that the problem exists, I'm urging everyone to shift your thinking, look within, and to embrace and forgive your inner racist, sexist, homophobe, whatever. Because seriously, until we develop some awareness, it's just going to persist. Principle 3. If social toxins are descendants of ignorance, then education is an anecdote. I'm proposing that we embrace theater as a site for our own radical healing, as well as that of our society, by fearlessly producing work that interrogates issues of race, gender, class, sexual preference, etc. Because our society is so dysfunctional in this regard, these topics are very juicy, and audiences are eager to engage these issues as long as they're assured that it's within a safe environment. One way to ensure a safe environment is to engage the services of a diversity specialist when planning activities to support and enhance this kind of programming. Diversity trainers are wonderful resources to have on your boards. At one of the regional theaters I worked at, we produced a play that interrogated stereotypes of African Americans, and we held a symposium which was very well attended by our audience and college students from the area. And I'll never forget the moving testimony of our artistic director, who candidly shared his aha moment of realizing that he was unconsciously invoking a negative stereotype when he insisted that an African-American actor be costumed in a particular manner in a Shakespearean production he was directing. His comments challenged us all to be equally self-reflective. Finally, Principle 4, gender and culturally specific theaters must be empowered to set their own artistic agendas. I'm very concerned about the fact that many, if not most, culturally specific theaters lack the resources to develop new work. Looking back at many of our most groundbreaking African-American playwrights, I have to ask the question, would August Wilson have accomplished what he did if it wasn't for Lloyd Richards at the O'Neill and at Yale? And Tazaki Shange have made it to Broadway without Woody King? Would, anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Wow. Courage in the act of 5-minute compliance. Let's think of that 5-minute thing as an enabling constraint. One little comment I want to add in point of your first issue of mission statement importance, only because it blew me away recently. I did some work in Scotland where I was astonished at the